Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Hour. My name is Stefanis Kokis with Mike Mihas and Cody Tuttle. We got Mike back. He's been gone for a few weeks, up in the sky, all over the
Yes,
place. What have you guys been up to? You guys got the roll this week.
we got the roll. We got to. We just heard an interesting story from Cody. After rolling, he got a bit of food poisoning, and he almost died in the Walgreens bathroom in Youngstown, Ohio, which might be the most depressing thing I've ever heard. Because Youngstown is a very depressing place, and
Yeah, if you're gonna die in
that food
Youngstown, at
poisoning.
least get shot or something.
Yeah,
Oh
at
man,
least that's the
it was
norm in Youngstown. When you die, you get shot. It's usually drive-by that kills you, or a mugging. So tell us what happened, Cody.
well, the Walgreens could have gotten robbed while I was in there, and I wouldn't have even known because I was in there for about 50 minutes by myself. I really didn't plan on retelling this story, but I guess I have to since you guys
You
led in
have
with
to.
it. But
I mean, we can save it for later. I can post it up
yeah,
later.
It's
no,
just
I
so
guess I
good.
mean we already got started.
All
We
right,
already got started.
all right.
But I guess Mike's already almost died from jujitsu like 3 times. Either I got food poisoning or Mike, Robert, and Tony beat my ass so much that I decided that after I ate Chipotle that 10 minutes later I was going to spend the next 50 minutes in the bathroom of Walgreens. But that's that's the short version of the story. But I had a CPR class that I was supposed to get to, and I pulled a mic and I scheduled my meeting for work nearby jujitsu so I could train on a day that I should be working. So the, the CPR class started at 6 o'clock, and I was about 25 minutes away from it, and it was probably about 6 o'clock, and I still was in Youngstown. So I was kind of in panic mode because I'm about 2 hours away from home, completely by myself. Not sure if I'm going to make it out of this bathroom. Not sure if I'm going to make it to the CPR class. Um, it sucked. It was with me all day yesterday. I missed work. Spent the day in bed. So either the Walmart chicken got me, or the guys, the brown belts at Next Level up in Youngstown, put it to me. But it took me a while to recover from that. Yeah, it was the deli chicken. It was like the boneless buffalo wings. I think. I mean, that's the only thing that I ate Monday that I don't typically
That's
eat.
that processed food.
Right, and
Anything
and
boneless
it's
is usually processed,
right, and it
which I
was it
still
was
eat.
delicious. It was delicious. But I mean, the person handling the food probably just got out of the Walgreens bathroom themselves and just dumped my chicken right into my little bucket, and I had a couple spoonfuls of E. coli. I don't know. Who knows?
Fresh Walmart shit chicken.
Yeah.
Fresh E. coli from Walmart.
Chicken. You had chicken.
Yeah,
Chicken. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just glad that I made it through the training session. Okay, that's the good part. I got to roll for
Cody,
about
Cody, you did
two
really well for
hours.
not having rolled in like a year. I mean, we rolled a long time. What was it like?
Yeah,
It
like
was a
an hour and
couple
a half
hours.
goes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were.
that was probably the most that I've rolled in a long time. I've been like once a week. I've done a couple twice a week sessions, um, but not much more than that. It was that's the most mat time I've had in a while. So
Yeah, great.
yeah, my knee
Great.
held
And I
up, so that's good.
and I love the unbleached gi.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. You missed this, Faunus. I wore this unbleached gi, and
was it
I could.
yellow?
It was yellowish, yeah, but it's like a classy yellow. It doesn't look like like a piss stained gi. It actually
It's
it's
nice.
really
It's very nice. It's very
and
nice.
and I'd be rolling on the mat and I'd hear Mike talking about it off the mat like multiple times. He just kept like talking about this gi. But anyways, it was a 93 brand unbleached gi. I don't know what they call it. I can't remember, but it's just their unbleached gi, and it's actually pretty
Very
nice.
very nice
It,
gi.
it's uh it's super comfortable since like the process of bleaching the fibers kind of like destroy the fibers a little bit. The unbleached cotton always feels a little bit nicer, so it was super comfortable to train
Yeah,
in.
like gripping it. Putting grips on it definitely
Yeah.
felt different than any other gi.
So it didn't have that scratchy feel that most geese have.
No,
No,
it wasn't scratchy at all. Now the one thing I will say is that like once you made the grip though, it was really hard to break the grip. I had a lot of trouble like once
yeah,
somebody got a really good grip on it, it I think it was easier for them to maintain it because I had trouble
That's
getting
probably because of
getting
that.
my
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
So Mike was playing a lot of guard de la Greek and doing all kinds of lapel guard, and that was my first encounter with worm guard. So I fell over a lot pretty easily. Got berimboloed a couple times.
What
Yeah,
do you What do you think of Tony? Did you roll with Tony?
Tony kicked my ass, man.
Yeah, he knows how to. I love rolling with Tony, but he knows how to make himself feel like he weighs 1,000,000 pounds.
Yeah.
His pressure is so great.
Yes, it is, and he's got a great mustache too.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about how he needs to get on the show and make sure that he's got a video set up so everyone can hear him talk and see the mustache.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty good. He was a lot of fun to roll with because even though he knows how to use his pressure, like he didn't just use it all the time.
Yeah, he's definitely legit.
He mixes it up a lot, and there's a lot of you can tell his game's pretty diverse, not just a real heavy pressure kind of guy, but he certainly knows how to put it on you.
Yeah. He puts it on me all the time. Him and Roberto put it on me all the time. It's
Yeah.
Before you came, he had put it on for an hour before that he was putting it on me. So it was.
Well, I'm glad you got him tired for me.
He doesn't get tired. Something about him. I don't know what it is.
He just keeps going.
Him and Roberto, they could just keep going. I don't know how they do that.
It's the classical music he plays while we roll.
That's what it is. He does play classical music when we roll.
That's pretty cool. It's a little different.
So one thing I want to talk about tonight is this uncanny ability I have of knowing when someone. If I talk to someone for 5 minutes that just got into jiu-jitsu, I have gotten very good at knowing how long they're going to stay with jiu-jitsu and how far they're going to go with jiu-jitsu.
So
It's
how
amazing.
did you figure out this new superpower of yours?
Just over the years, I'll talk to someone and it's like they say certain things. Like if it's a new person and right away they want to compete a lot. If they're really like they want, I want to compete. I want to, if when I hear that, it's usually those people. They're gone within a year.
I was actually one of those people though. So
Okay, there are a few anomalies.
yeah, there's always going to be exceptions. But hearing that and thinking back like that was me. Like that was like the main reason I got into jiu-jitsu was I wanted to compete in something. But go on.
Yeah, so it's that when they want to compete really bad, and when they have a really bad competition bug right off the bat. They're just like, when's the next tournament? I want to do it. When's the next tournament? And they'll come to a tournament, and they might do one or two, but then they're gone in a year. I don't know if it's just too much too quick and they burn out, or and there's some, and then I'll know it'll be a 2-year span. I'm like, they're gonna compete for the next 2 years and they're gonna be done. And it's amazing. And I just think of certain situations. I think about this guy. I'm like, yeah, he competed for 2 years, he's gone. This guy competed for 2 years, he's gone. This guy got his blue belt and he's done. This guy got his blue belt and he'll come into the gym every 6 months, get into it for like a week and be back. So it's like I have everyone.
You got them all categorized.
Just my little stuff they say.
You have everyone pegged.
It's just little stuff they say, and I don't say it. I just in my head I'm like, oh, ding. He's a 3-year. He's a 4-year. He's a purple. He's a brown. He's a lifer. He'll be gone in a week. He'll be gone in 6 months. It's just, and I feel bad because I really want everyone to stay with it. I just know everyone. It's just.
I'm a
It's
2.5
really
year
hard
white belt, and I'm still
people
with
to
it.
stay with jiu-jitsu. It's very hard for people to. It's a very hard sport to stick with. It's a lot of hard work, and you got to put a lot of time in, and I think that's where I, just from doing all these years, I just pick up on little stuff that people do. I'm like, yeah, he's got about 3 months, and I'm getting really good at it.
Real
So
specific there.
I'm like the Miss Cleo of jiu-jitsu.
You see with kickboxing all the time too. Like guys will come in and they see the jiu-jitsu and they see the kickboxing. They're like, I'm gonna do kickboxing because they think they're you don't need the ground game or whatever. And then they're only there for a few months and they're gone later. Because some places people come in and are like, I want to fight, and there's no fight in sight, but they're not putting in the work either. So they just end up quitting anyways. So it's a little different with jiu-jitsu because there's no striking, but.
And the jiu-jitsu guys that do MMA, those guys, I can even pick those guys even quicker
because
they're doing so much at once.
Yeah, you can get burned out if you don't
Get burned out. And
condition
it's also
yourself.
a lot of guys that they get really into the competing part. I don't know if it's like a mental thing, and they get so excited because it's almost like a new thing and it's fun.
That's
And
exactly what it is.
but it's a new, and I know the guys they'll compete for the first 2 years of jiu-jitsu, and then they are gone, and it just blows my mind. It's like they'll work so hard, they'll get the blue belt, gone, or they'll work so hard and they won't get their blue belt and they're gone. It's just there's just so many different things that just
I want to start competing again. I almost wanted to go to Fredonia, but
should you should start competing again. It's one of the best ways to get remotivated is to go compete.
oh yeah,
I don't
definitely.
want to. I don't want to start competing again.
I know you just want to commentate,
Yeah, I just want to sit there and watch.
give people names.
Cody, I think you should. I think if you compete again, you'll get right back to where you're at. I think it's like
I
a
don't want to do it.
it's a mental. I think it's like a mental block right now because you haven't competed in a long time. And
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
Well, I'm-
gonna take some serious work to make me get back in there, or just feel like I'm ready to get back in there.
well, I'm
Uh,
dreading the following year coming up because I know I'm gonna have to compete again next year to keep my streak going, and I really don't want to compete anymore. But I am gonna have some. I'm gonna have to slip some kind of competition in it, so I can keep my record of competing every year.
Just get one competition in.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna get one, maybe like a super fight or something. And,
Yeah, those are easy.
I'll just ask to do super fight, someone just get something really easy, and just go out there and bump hands and roll, and then I'll be like, I got my one competition in this year, and I'm done.
And then you can coach your nephew.
Yeah, there you go until 2016. So
I'm
think-
probably gonna miss the entire year of 2014. I think that's the first time that's ever happened since 2007.
yeah, but
I,
you have a knee injury, you
Yeah.
got eye surgery, you started dental
wedding.
practice, and you have a wedding. So you have this is kind of you have the perfect. This is
It's a good excuse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a good excuse.
It's a hard one. Yeah, I don't know too many guys are getting married and are gonna compete. So
Yeah.
People get married in their gis all the time. I don't think
You know,
anyone's
I-
allowed to
I've-
wear it
I've-
though.
I've seen a lot of that, and I definitely decided very early on that wasn't going to be have any place in my wedding, like none whatsoever. Like,
I understand the love of jiu-jitsu, but it's usually all the guys I've seen in the pictures are like blue belts.
Can me and Mike
that's what I
wear
was
our
gonna
gis?
say. That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. It is too much of a blue belt thing to do. So yeah, I've seen it. Okay, it's cool. Like especially maybe if you met at jujitsu, like that would be one thing. But like like Erin's not that interested in jujitsu. Like, like I've drug her around to jujitsu events and like, she'll come to tournaments in Morgantown and stuff like that. But, it's not her thing. So to force it on her, at her wedding or, even if I'm the only one, like she still has to look at it and think, God, he's an idiot. Like I wish he was wearing a tuxedo like everyone else on the planet. So
Me and Mike are gonna come to your wedding wearing gis.
Yeah.
just start rolling.
We'll bring the microphones too. We'll commentate the
My
wedding.
wife would backhand me if I did anything like that at your wedding. She would definitely backhand me. She's like, "Don't you get enough jujitsu?"
Yeah.
But yeah, but usually those guys that take the wedding pictures and the blue belts are the ones that also quit jujitsu. So
Mhm. A lot of
I'm very negative today. I'm very negative.
Yeah.
a couple guys in my wedding are, have done jujitsu. One of the guys is a purple belt. The other guy's a blue belt. That, he's actually the blue belt that's been a blue belt for forever.
Forever.
So he'll start for a while and get off it. And he's been off and on for a long time. He actually just ended up like really hurting himself at work. He cut off like most of his fingertips in some sort of crazy accident. So he's not training for a while for a pretty legitimate reason. But he had an amateur fight in like 2005 or something like that. So he's been training a long time, but he's still a blue belt because ever since then he's kind of back and forth. But we got a couple of jiu-jitsu
Well,
guys.
that's a rough injury, man. To lose your fingers.
Oh
that's
yeah, hell yeah.
That's
He
pretty
lost
devastating. Yeah.
like the first two knuckles on his index and middle finger on his left hand, and then like on his right hand, like he lost like the fingertips of like the first three fingers. So he's got like 5 out of 8 fingers like healing up. But they put him back together. They put some pins in and
Oh, they put the fingers back together.
they stitched him back on.
All the fingers?
All of them, yeah. And he's got some sort of sensation going on back with it. So he's going to regain. Yeah. Now, that was kind of surprising to me. Like I thought like, you cut your finger off, that's pretty much like done for. But Erin told me that her dad, he was a contractor in Maryland, but he cut his pinky off. I didn't know. It's there now. It works fine. So if you, sometimes if you cut your finger off in a, pretty decisive manner, a good surgeon can put it back on.
I cut my thumb, the tip of my my thumb, and
Yeah.
they actually put it back on.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Like
Right
he
here.
lost like half of his fingernail, like just the
Yeah.
very tip on the right
Yeah,
hand.
that's it. And they put the tip back on. I'm still missing the top part right here, but they found the other. It was in a. My cousin had a restaurant, and he had a meat slicer.
Ooh.
And I'm just joking around and I'm playing with the meat slicer. I was like, here, let me cut some of the meat. And it has like two blades. So it cut it off. It cut it twice. This part here got grounded up, but they put this other part, they reattached. You can't, it's weird. If you see my thumb up close, you can see where it's reattached.
Yeah.
So.
So do you have feeling back in that part, or can you feel
No,
it?
no, yeah, I can feel it. It's a little numb here.
Yeah.
It's a little numb.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
But your friends, you're saying that he was cut at them. That's like
like
I didn't
yeah,
think that he could. Yeah,
like boom, like right here, like he
yeah. I
lost.
thought it was
He's
game over after
gone.
that. It was.
That's like
Yeah.
a shop
Nah.
class injury.
Yeah,
Good
it's.
for
I
him.
mean, he
That's
works.
awesome. Good for him. Yeah.
He did some sort of like he does some sort of like manual labor like
Yeah.
he's in the pipe fitters union. So
Yeah.
he was working with some heavy machinery, and he said he doesn't remember exactly how it happened. Probably because it just your brain just shuts down. Like boom, it happened. Like ah.
Yeah. That's yeah.
So yeah, but
Oh, that's
I'm
it,
surprised though. It's good that you can put that stuff back on. And then the day before the wedding, he's having the pins taken out of the finger. So I guess he's healing up pretty well. I don't know if he'll be able to like train jiu-jitsu anytime in the next year, but he's already a blue belt, so it's half the battle.
well, good for him. That's awesome. I'd like to meet him at the wedding. That'll be.
Yeah.
Those are some pretty important fingers he lost too. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's it. I just didn't know that they could do that. I thought it was like that's awesome. Good
just put
for
it
him.
in milk.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Milk. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty good advice for anyone that's listening. If you get your tooth knocked out in jiu-jitsu or boxing or kickboxing or whatever, get it in some milk. That shit actually works.
Yep.
So not if it's part of a tooth. Make sure it's the entire tooth with the root. Then
Yeah.
then there's a chance that something can be done.
Yeah. That's true. Oh,
So
that's pretty crazy. That's a. I'm gonna have to talk to him at the wedding. That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
I mean, painful, but just to get him back on, that's like getting a second shot at
Yeah.
almost life right there, because that's you need your.
your
Right.
index.
Yeah, and he works with his hands all the time, so I mean it'd be pretty devastating. And
Yeah.
And will we be able to roll again? Will we be able to like grab a gi?
I don't know. I haven't really talked to him about getting back to like jiu-jitsu or anything like that.
I mean that should be the last thing on his mind.
Right, yeah.
That he could grab a pencil and write his name and shake someone's
Yeah,
hand. So that's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But look at Machado. He rolls with all Machado has is
Right, yeah. He's got
this.
just
And I rolled with Machado before, and it's crazy. It's even this here when he had it around me was pretty devastating. He choked me multiple times with
So
that
what do you
hand.
do? You use like an overhook, just like a
Yeah. He always uses like if you're in his guard, he'll come up and grab it like this, but he'll come up and bring it up for chokes too. And he's got like the pinky part, and he still uses that on the gi.
yeah.
It's pretty
Huh.
interesting. It's
Wait, he's missing his fingers up to his knuckles.
No, it's like the entire like
Yeah,
basically it's just like if we just cut
it's
it off
down
here,
here,
it's like
yeah.
the hand didn't form.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy how like you can adapt your body and whatever your physical deformity is, there's a way to find a style of jiu-jitsu that works for you. If you
Well,
do it
that's
long
what-
enough, you can get good at jiu-jitsu still, working around whatever
Yeah,
disadvantage you have.
we hear
That's a
about it all the
gentleman-
time.
That's like a general with Keith Miner I was telling you about. That's missing.
Yeah.
He got it cut off right. He got it cut off about right here. He lost his in a wood, and he is a brown belt, and has some slick jiu-jitsu. Wins multiple competitions all the time. He was competing at Naga. Him and Rob Sullivan were in the finals of the no gi. I think he was in the finals of the gi brown belt. Guy is slick, and and he choked me with that arm. He actually choked me with when he got it around my neck. When someone comes around your neck, you're used to
Mhm.
doing
Right,
this
yeah.
movement here, but now you're doing it. It's almost weird, and by the time you get this, it's already
It's too
he had
late.
it snugged in, and I had to. He got me.
Huh.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah, he's a great roller. So I like rolling with him. But yeah, I think I don't know. It's because you have to rely so much on technique. You can't stuff you take for granted with
Right.
your hands. I guess once you have some kind of handicap, you have to play
Have to
just like that.
adapt.
Just like that one wrestler that has missing the leg
Oh
in the Olympics.
oh yeah.
What's his name? What's his name?
I can't think of his name. All I can remember is Kyle Maynard. Obviously,
Yeah, look at Kyle Manor. That has
right,
he has
right.
no. I mean, he's cut up. What is it, to his hips?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that to his hips? Yeah.
yeah. And I've seen videos of him training at Autos.
Yeah. I've seen
He's
those too.
he's in some of those Autos videos,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So, he was competing high level wrestling, and now he's competing with some of the best guys in the world in jiu-jitsu. So
That's why when people make excuses about injuries, I like to refer to like Kyle. I like to
yeah, yeah.
I like to refer to myself too because my injuries are pretty bad and I still out there roll. But I refer to yeah. That's another thing. When I hear people talk about injuries, that's when I know they're quitting jujitsu too. It's I have these little things when I hear about their injuries, and then they're able to do multiple other stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Pick up basketball.
yeah.
Yeah.
My back hurts, but I'm gonna go to CrossFit. Really, really? You're gonna go to CrossFit and do awkward lifting that's probably more dangerous than going to jujitsu. So
Probably.
that's another thing. Guys that do jujitsu that get into CrossFit. There's another one of those that not
Questionable.
questionable, or they're really into lifting with the jujitsu. Then that gets a little because it's weird how people put lifting before jujitsu.
Hey, I lift and I do jujitsu. I just haven't been able to afford to do jujitsu.
But what do you do? What do you do more? Do you do more lifting or more jujitsu?
I do more lifting now, but when I do jujitsu, I'll do both.
See?
When I was competing, wait, hold on. When I was competing 2 years ago, I was in the gym in the morning and I was in jujitsu at nighttime. Like jujitsu and gym were my life. And
so even.
yeah, exactly. And
See,
that's how I would exactly prefer it to be. So when I get those mats, it probably will be.
But I know people that will put lifting before jujitsu in their weekend schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and
That doesn't help them.
it doesn't.
No.
I mean, you get a lift workout rolling. Believe it or not, you might not have that same pump of like benching or of
Doing curls in the squat rack.
curls or cleaning stuff like. But I'm just saying that there is a workout. It
Oh
just
yeah.
it's just you're not gonna get that body look of like say Cody that's ripped. You know what I mean?
Speaking of lifting, the Olympiads this weekend. Get to see all the big bodybuilder people, but there's no jujitsu at this thing, so most people won't care.
The all naturals.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it depends on division, but yeah, everybody no roids at all, nothing.
Never.
Yeah, right.
Never touched the
Right.
stuff. None of those guys ever touched it.
Never. It's like they
You know
are
what?
just
Those
hulks.
guys don't really hide it. It's like the WWE.
No.
I don't think those guys. It's like the WWE doesn't hide that it's fake wrestling. No, I think they're at the point right now where like most bodybuilders don't even hide that they're on the juice.
Well, no, they have different divisions. They have all natural that they drug test you for, and then they have the straight up bodybuilding that like Jay Cutler and Kai Green and all those big guys are part of. So there's a difference. They do make the distinction.
That's why
they
I like
are
going
on
to the
stuff.
Arnolds. I like going to the Arnolds and seeing these
Yeah, you see everybody.
monstrosities walking around. Just
Doesn't even look like, I don't know, like a feasible way to like go about your everyday life. Like, could you imagine having to like turn yourself sideways to get into a door?
They're yeah,
Like,
exactly, but they're pretty
just
flexible.
shitting. Just think how hard shitting is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just the, if you want to get a good scoop in there and clean up, you can. I mean, you just.
If one of those guys was dying inside the Walmart or Walgreens bathroom, like they might not have
They'd be
made it out
screwed.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be screwed. But I do like rolling with really big bodybuilders because they have the same. It's that after a minute they're going, but they are explosive. They are strong. That first minute they are. It's
Oh yeah,
surprisingly.
you gotta watch out.
Surprisingly. Yeah, they'll claw your face. It's pretty. You ever see the Pedro Sauer video of him going against Mr.
Oh yeah,
Utah?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good old school video.
That is a good old school video.
I just roll with Mike for a minute, and he does like a bicep slicer from across the room or something. It's not fair.
I like bicep slicers. They're nice, especially when you get lazy.
I thought you were gonna hit me with one the other day or yesterday. No.
Did you try to go to side?
Yeah, and I was aware that it was coming, so I was extra careful.
No, I don't bicep slice in the gi. I keep it friendly as the.
You only do that in no gi?
Yeah, I only do nogi. I
Really?
only do
How many
nogi,
heel
yeah.
hooks were
I would
thrown?
none, but we ended up in 50-50 a couple times, and we just kind of like sat there and looked at each other like.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna straight foot lock me a couple times. I was getting ready to.
uh,
I think he's gonna put it on me. I'm gonna have
I
to
was
start.
I was trying to set up my straight ankle lock from
Yeah,
50-50,
I
but
saw what you were doing.
you controlled the sleeper. I really like that. There's a couple neat ways to finish a straight ankle lock from 50-50. Um, I saw some videos from Cavaca, Rodrigo Cavaca, Buccetta's coach, on finishing the straight ankle lock from 50-50, but you had my sleeve like way too controlled. And the big thing was I needed my arm free, but he was defending well. He's no slouch when it comes to leg locks. But that Kavaka has a really cool finish, and then Jeb Tonkin showed me something that was really cool, and it actually was something that I used in the IBJJF Toronto Open. And he showed it to me like a week before, and somehow I ended up there, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to do this right now, and it worked. I don't think I'd ever even repped it at all. It just happened.
Is that the match where the guy was limping and nobody knew what happened until you told them?
Yeah.
I remember. I remember that. I was like,
Yeah.
what even? I didn't even see the submission.
Yeah, he couldn't. It was like almost off him. Like I watched that video like last week, and I was like, man, I was like super close to like rolling out of bounds, and then they would have just restarted it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a nice video. We might have to post that one. That's a nice foot lock because he was limping pretty.
Yeah.
he was a tough dude, because then he went and did the absolute, and he got third in the Open. Ended up losing to some guy that won Pan Am's. But yeah, he did pretty well. He trains at Marcelo's gym, like in New York, like the main gym. So it was a pretty good match.
This Saturday at Next Level, there is a girl. She's a brown belt, and I guess she was at Abu Dhabi. She's coming to roll.
Oh,
Her husband is a brown belt. He competes too, from Florida. And I'm trying to think. And there's another guy coming. He's another brown belt. So he won like something. So try to come back up Saturday, Cody.
What am I doing? Oh, I have so much wedding stuff to do on
I
Saturday.
know
I was
you're
trying to
probably
figure out
so
like
slammed.
I got to come up with like a seating chart, and what else?
Me and Mike get our own table with
all
microphones.
kinds of, and the drone cam will be.
Yeah, we'll have that there.
present.
Yeah, I'm sure your new wife is gonna love that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Really,
She'd probably find the drone cam pretty cool.
yeah, I don't know. That's her special day. You don't want to do anything to. Trust me, that one day, it's her day. It's not even your day. It's her day.
No,
It fell on the priest.
You're just there with a tux.
I'm just
and
there.
you're just eye candy that day because it's all about her and her. I've been through it. I know.
Well, the cool thing is we're going to Hawaii for the honeymoon.
Nice.
So I'm packing a gi, and I'm gonna try and go to Maui Jiu-Jitsu. It's run by Louis Heredia, who's like a fifth degree Hickson black belt. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll probably only get to go once because she's the boss. But
I'm surprised she's actually gonna let you on your honeymoon to go train.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But we'll be there for 2 weeks, so one morning or one night won't.
Oh, 2 weeks. All right.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So
yeah. I went. How many? I went 10 days for my.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, well, I mean, we figured, there's a chance that we'll never ever go to Hawaii again. So 2 weeks, do 3.
I did hear that it's
Might as well do it.
cool to go visit the volcanoes.
Yeah,
Everyone tells me it's like really interesting to do that.
One of the volcanoes is actually erupting right now. So when we get there, yeah, it's on the other side of the island from where we're staying.
Sounds safe.
Yeah.
Safe.
Well, the lava is flowing in the opposite direction of where our hotel is. So I mean, there's a chance that we'll actually see like an active volcano, which is
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's something that I never really anticipated.
Are you getting yelled at for telling your?
No, she was asking where her clothes were.
Oh, that she was yelling about your honeymoon.
No.
And
So, Mike, since he's going to be on a honeymoon, we're going to be going to the Greek Jiu-Jitsu Championships, right?
Yeah, I want to go so bad.
Oh, I saw that. What day is that?
It is November 1st.
Oh man.
For a second, I would love to do that. I'm gonna start dropping hints to my wife.
So if you win, does that qualify you for free competition to at the actual like Abu Dhabi Pro? Is that one of like the qualifiers?
It must be. I think it's one. I think it's one of the qualifiers.
Do
It's
you have to be from Greece to qualify for the free? Uh, I know you have to win like the brown belt absolute to make it there, but I don't know if you also have to be from Greece to make it there.
Oh, well, technically, I wasn't born in Greece, so I don't know if I would actually qualify.
Hey, close enough.
My parents were born in Greece. I don't know if that would. I would like to do that. That'd be pretty cool. But
That would be awesome.
I'm friends with a lot of Greek jiu-jitsu people, and they keep posting about it. And I'm like, man, I'm really would love to do that. I really love to go get some Greek brown belts.
Start a Kickstarter to get me over there. I'll go commentate.
That'd be sweet.
Live blog.
That'd be sweet. That'd be real sweet. So we have the PA, the Western PA, Western PA Championship coming up,
October 25th.
And then we have Morgantown.
Ground Zero submission only. I believe it's like the West Virginia Combat Sports Championships. That's November 15th. And the following weekend is the Mission Submission 4 in Edinburgh on November 22nd. So,
and Dustin has a competition somewhere in there.
That's right.
Yep.
He's also on November 15th. That's the Ohio State. So you've got a couple to choose from that day. One submission only, one's points. So if you prefer one over the other, you get your pick. Pretty nice to be able to pick and choose your tournaments. We're in a pretty good area.
Highest stand on 27th of this month.
So all kinds of stuff coming up.
Sucks.
And it's close to everybody. Like everybody has something they can go to within like an hour or two drive.
Yeah, and if you bump that up to 3 hours, that's just your possibilities just get
all over the place.
Yeah, so
that's pretty awesome.
Be on the lookout. If there's anything coming up that you guys want us to mention, feel free to drop us a message on the Facebook page, and we'll promote your upcoming event. It's just spreading local jiu-jitsu.
That's right. Spreading it because we love it.
Yep. So,
all right, we're gonna wrap her up.
Mike's gotta get up early. It's bedtime.
Yes, I do. I have to be up the crack of dawn.
All right. Well, I think it's we spent another half hour with us, 32 minutes. That's fine.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
We might have a guest next week. We might not. We're gonna see what we can come up with in terms of jiu-jitsu news. Maybe I'll actually train. Maybe I'll train with Mike because I'm going to try to train on Mondays now up in Youngstown.
Oh, nice. Try to come Saturday. We have a lot of people coming in Saturday.
Well, since I'm not going to Buffalo now, I might. So
yeah, there's going to be a lot of good guys rolling Saturday. So
I'll be late, but I might be there.
All right.
So, all right.
I'm sure it'll be an all-day rolling thon.
Yeah. Everybody, we're going to say goodbye. Have a good night. Have a good week.